From Apple Valley News Now, First Alert Weather with Chief Meteorologist Josh Colbreth.
Good Tuesday morning. Hope everyone had a good start to the work week and it was beautiful weather out there. It's going to be the same thing for today, minus all the winds that we had for yesterday. Now we're still dealing with some visibility concerns for Interstate 90, also for US Highway 12. So in those areas up in the Cascades, of course, take it slow, use the low beams. But elsewhere, we're not tracking any fog, but we are tracking some cold temperatures. We're now officially either at or below freezing for Pendleton and Hermiston and Yakima. So in those areas, it could be a little bit frosty. All of us, of course, need a heavy jacket for this morning, but a little bit later today, light jacket weather, maybe even some t-shirt weather as we get into the peak of daytime heating. We'll be in the 50s for lunchtime, into the 60s come time for, again, the peak of daytime heating. Here's the bottom line for the forecast. Seasonal to start this week, much warmer by the end of this week, but that gets shaken up with some shower chances that will be associated with the storm system for both Friday and Saturday. Also, something that's going to come along with that ride, more winds. That would be the third weekend in a row of windy conditions, but I'll tell you about all this coming up on Good Morning Northwest, which starts right now.
Straight ahead on Good Morning Northwest, a teen is dead after a weekend shooting in Yakima, and now the suspect is in custody. What we're learning about the investigation this morning. Plus, the search is on for a new Yakima County coroner after a recent resignation, what the GOP is looking for in the candidate. And coming up later, Business Spectrum Studios recently held a ribbon cutting for a brand new Empower Center for Growth, what they hope the expansion will do for the community. It's all on Good Morning Northwest, which starts right now.
This is Apple Valley News Now. Good Morning Northwest, on your side.
Good Tuesday morning, happy Earth Day, and thanks so much for waking up with us and joining us here for Good Morning Northwest. I'm Jade Elliott, and we want to start this morning, your 6 o'clock hour, with a follow-up on a homicide out of Yakima. We first told you about it just yesterday. We now know the suspect is in custody following that deadly shooting that happened over Easter weekend. Deputies responding to the shooting just Sunday on the 1500 block of South Keys Road. That's where they found an 18-year-old who had been shot. That 18-year-old was taken to Yakima Valley Memorial, but later passed away. Investigators then identified the man right there on your screen, 21-year-old Israel Barriga Vargas, as the suspect. He was on the run and finally surrendered at his home just yesterday after 2 p.m. Yesterday afternoon. He's now in the Yakima County Jail facing a charge of second-degree murder. Anyone with information on this deadly shooting is asked to contact the sheriff's office. And taking you to Fox Island now, where a man is in custody after a death was originally reported as a suicide, but then later determined to be a murder. Deputies responded early on April 20th after a 29-year-old man called saying his girlfriend had taken her life. Now, when deputies got there, they found the 27-year-old woman dead at the scene, and then through their investigation, including some forensic analysis, detectives found evidence that didn't align with a suicide. And that's when that man was arrested and is now facing second-degree murder charges, being held at the Pierce County Jail. An investigation continues after a disturbing discovery in Yakima County. Police found human remains in a remote area while they were looking into a child welfare case in Selah. Now, officers first responded to a home on Spires Road Tuesday for a welfare check. A parent told police that the child was actually living somewhere else. But that led investigators to a possible burial site near Cowiche Mill Road. Washington State Crime Scene Response Team helped recover the remains. An autopsy is now scheduled for this week to confirm the identity. Police say there is no threat to the public, but several local and federal agencies are now involved in this investigation. 6:03 now, and a Yakima man was just sentenced for sexually assaulting an intoxicated and incapacitated minor. According to these court documents we got our hands on, 20-year-old Darius Morningstar Speedus was sentenced to 6 years in prison, and that comes after he not only sexually assaulted a 16-year-old Native American girl, but filmed the assault, later then sending that video to the victim. The sexual assault reportedly happened on the Yakima Nation Indian Reservation, where Speedus also allegedly provided alcohol to several teens. Well, a Washington man has just been sentenced for his role in distributing fentanyl to the Tri-Cities area. 26-year-old Ricardo Cantu will spend 9 years in prison for drug trafficking charges, including fentanyl-laced pills and methamphetamine. The DEA conducted 2 controlled purchases of methamphetamine and fentanyl from Cantu and from another man, Julio Gaspar Iniguez. Both were armed, and their purchase total almost 2 pounds of methamphetamine and more than 3,000 fentanyl pills. Gaspar will be sentenced on June 25th in Spokane. Well, there's now an open call for candidates to fill the vacant county coroner position. Yakima County's Republican Central Committee made the announcement just yesterday, and it all comes just days after the former coroner stepped down. Jim Curtis officially resigning last Friday, saying in a statement that he agrees to the terms of a resignation agreement. GOP now seeking qualified applicants to be considered for the role. Now, 3 nominees will be selected during the Yakima County GOP endorsement convention, and coroner nominations will have a meeting on Wednesday, May 14th. That meeting takes place at the Yakima Christian Center on South 10th Avenue. Doors will open at 5:30, and candidates must live in Yakima County and be registered voters. But anyone interested that meets those qualifications can submit a letter of interest to the Yakima GOP chairman, Matt Brown. 6:05 now, and lawmakers in Olympia are moving forward with a sweeping tax package aimed at addressing a multi-billion-dollar budget shortfall. But one controversial proposal is now off the table. Over the weekend, the Senate passed several revenue measures, including hikes to capital gains and estate taxes, closing some tax loopholes, and expanding the sales tax to cover computer services. Now, Democrats say the new funding is essential to keep state services running. But Republicans argue the change will hurt working families. Meanwhile, the House was set to debate business tax increases and a school funding bill. But as first reported by the Washington State Standard, a plan to raise the cap on property tax revenue growth was removed from the bill.
We have to modernize the tax code to keep up with the economy, so we have the resources we need to provide for public schools, health care, public safety.
We are sending an unmistakable signal to folks who are interested in investing and building our economy to create an economy that raises everybody's votes.
So the budget has to be passed out of the legislature by Sunday. The governor says he is hopeful things will end on time, but he's okay with things taking a few more days to get a budget that meets his priorities. 6:06 now, and April is Autism Awareness Month, and one local business, Spectrum Studios, recently held a ribbon cutting for its brand new Empower Center for Growth. The center is all about building life skills, offering vocational training and encouraging social development. Co-director Jim Pridemore says it's already making a big impact. He tells us that the environment helps participants feel more comfortable and motivated when they're learning alongside peers who understand their experiences.
That could be anything from computer repair to woodworking to artificial intelligence prompting. So it's really there to give them, to give our family a home away from home, so we can kind of get them out of the bedroom and get them interacting with each other and working with each other as a team.
Pridemore says in just 4 years, they've seen real progress among everyone involved, with growing interest in the programs being offered. There are 25 spots available. 6:07, still much more ahead here on Good Morning Northwest. The Vatican has released details for Pope Francis's funeral. Coming up, how the world is preparing to say goodbye, plus how people here at home are remembering his legacy. And giving you a beautiful live look outside this morning as the sun rises over the Tri-Cities. This is from our Yakima Federal camera at the Apple Valley Studios right here in Kennewick. When we come back after the break, Chief Meteorologist Josh Colbreth will have your first alert forecast.
Gather the family and come on down to the 62nd Annual Parade of Gems, April 25th through the 27th in the Modern Living Building at the Fairgrounds. Go back in time as we present fossils of the Northwest and beyond. See demonstrations on gold panning, wire wrapping, lapidary, and more. Dozens of vendors will be offering rock and mineral specimens and jewelry too. There will be games, door prizes, and more. Doors open at 10 a.m. Come one, come all to the 62nd Annual Parade of Gems, April 25th through the 27th at the Fairgrounds in Yakima.
Wild Horse Resort and Casino is bringing you an electrifying night with the iconic Grammy-nominated rock band Queensryche on Sunday, May 25th. Feel the energy and experience chart-topping hits like Jet City Woman and Silent Lucidity. Now's your chance to witness the unmistakable sound of one of rock's most celebrated bands, who've sold over 30 million albums worldwide. Tickets are on sale now at wildhorseresort.com or on the app. Plus, every ticket is good for $5 free play. Queensryche at Wild Horse Resort and Casino, Pendleton.
Now's the time for a great deal on a new Honda. It's time for a different kind of power. Whether you choose an electric Honda or a hybrid, meet the next generation of vehicles. It's the perfect time to get a Civic Hybrid, the 2025 North American Car of the Year. Hurry into your Honda dealer today.
The old me was stuck in the daily grind. My routine didn't allow for any self-expression. I found clay, and that changed everything. I realized my calling was to give others the space to be creative, to build something. And that's how Clayton was born. Having a Chase Ink card has allowed us to grow it and bring people together. There's a creative side in all of us. That's what I hope people come here to find.
Earn up to 5% cash back on business essentials with the Chase Ink Business Cash Card from Chase for Business. Make more of what's yours.
Looking for a trusted professional to guide you through your real estate endeavors? Carrie Lundgren with River Realty is ready to guide you through the process. As a lifelong Tri-Cities resident with 35 years real estate experience, she has the knowledge, dedication, and enthusiasm to make your real estate dreams come true. Whether you are buying your first home, moving up or scaling back, or looking for an investment, she has got you covered. Call Carrie today at 509-948-0580 and start making your dreams a reality.
Operation Best Friend, sponsored by As You Wish Real Estate Services, Christine Connolly, Realtor.
Well, welcome back to Good Morning Northwest. We do have a freeze warning that is still in place for the Kittitas and Yakima Valleys, also for the Bluefoot Hills of Walla Walla and Umatilla counties. That runs until 9 this morning. So hopefully last night you took all those necessary precautions to protect the outdoor pets, the plants, and the plumbing. Now on to current temperatures for this morning as we're below freezing for Cle Elum and Snoqualmie Pass, but above freezing for Ellensburg and Vantage. Then taking it down to the Yakima Valley, below freezing in Yakima proper. The rest of the valley technically above freezing, and then for the lower Columbia Basin, below 32 degrees for Hermiston. The rest of us are above that, and then in the Bluefoot Hills right at 32 for Pendleton, below 32 for Heppner, and below freezing for the higher terrain of the Blues in places like Cabbage Hill, Meacham, Ukiah, the Battle Mountain Summit. So where you're either at or below 32, that's where it could be a little bit frosty for this morning. Here's your CoCast for today for the Tri-Cities. Mostly light jacket weather all throughout the day. Now at the peak of daytime heating, could be t-shirt weather, especially if you're standing in the direct sunshine. We're going to have a lot of sunshine for today. Normal high temperatures for late April. That means low 60s in the Kittitas Valley and the Bluefoot Hills, mid 60s in the Yakima Valley and for the lower Columbia Basin. And we're going to be trending warmer as we head into the rest of this week, especially into Thursday and Friday. I'll tell you just how warm coming up in a few minutes.
Josh, thanks so much. 12 minutes after 6, and the Vatican has released details for Pope Francis's funeral, which is set to take place this Saturday in Rome. The service will begin at 10 a.m. Rome time, so 4 a.m. Eastern. It'll be at St. Peter's Square, where thousands are expected to gather. Cardinal Giovanni Battista, the Dean of the College of Cardinals, will preside over the funeral. After communion, a final commendation and valediction will be held before the Pope's coffin is taken into St. Peter's Basilica. Francis will then be laid to rest at the Basilica of Santa Maria Maggiore in Rome. Now, news of the Pope's passing, of course, has sparked reaction around the world and also right here in our community. Tributes are pouring in. Local faith leaders are reflecting on his legacy and the impact that he had on the Catholic Church and beyond. Bishop Tyson from the Yakima Diocese says they are praying for the next Holy Father in their masses and all around the world. Bishop Tyson says that there'll be a meeting of the cardinals in Rome to discuss the church. He also says that cardinals under the age of 80 will elect the new Holy Father within the coming days. He says that the church will be having masses to remember Pope Francis, and that the prayer is currently slightly different due to not having a pope at the moment.
We're going to have a big mass Friday evening at the Yakima Sun Dome at 7 p.m. and another Mass at the Yakima Sun Dome on 3 p.m. on Sunday. So that'll be a chance for folks to come to the celebrate and remember, the Holy Father, as well as our celebration of the Sunday Eucharist.
And those masses at the Sun Dome will be bilingual. And Governor Tina Kotek of Oregon and other governors across the country have ordered flags to be flown at half-staff in honor of the Pope. The directive comes after a proclamation by President Trump. The flags will remain at half-staff until sunset on the day of Pope Francis's funeral. 6:14, still much more ahead here on Good Morning Northwest. We will check back in with Chief Meteorologist Josh Colbreth, giving you that live look outside this morning from our Yakima Federal cameras here at the Apple Valley Studios in Kennewick. He will have your first alert forecast after the break.
In 1997, my father-in-law, John Ramsey, started this business. We took it from 2.5 acres. Now we're 22 acres.
What separates us is you're not just a number when you walk in the door.
Professional, on time. They answer all my questions.
If you're looking for a high-quality trailer at the right price, this is the place.
It feels like a home away from home.
I can guarantee when you buy an RV from us, you are part of the Broadmoor family.
At Broadmoor RV, we make
camping fun! Hi, I'm Rowdy with Total Energy Management. For 40 years, we've been keeping the Tri-Cities comfortable with top-notch heating and air conditioning services. We take pride in delivering exceptional service and unbeatable deals. Right now, you can save big with up to $4,900 in rebates and tax credits on a new Carrier heating and cooling system. So turn to the experts at Total Energy Management to ensure your house is the perfect temperature year-round. Visit TEMINC.com or call 946-4500 to learn more.
The Working Families Tax Credit isn't just for families. Individuals and couples can apply too. See if you or your family are eligible for this tax refund at workingfamiliescredit.wad.gov/eligibility.
Have you heard about refractive lens exchange? K2 Vision RLE means no glasses, no contacts, and no readers permanently. And you'll never develop a cataract.
No glasses or readers. K2 Vision RLE.
And the princess never felt the pee as the summit made for a perfect night's sleep.
What was it like before? Never a mattress?
30 years ago, getting a mattress was pretty scary. Middlemen hawked spring-filled slabs, hardly fit for a dog, at prices like you wouldn't believe. And you'd barely sleep, what with bad foam and even worse support. But then, Denver Mattress came to town. They promised a better night's sleep, and they delivered. And it still holds true to this day. Denver Mattress. After 30 years, still the easiest way to get the right mattress.
Find out how Idaho Fish and Game is working to rebuild the sturgeon population.
These are the largest and longest lived fish in Idaho. Some of these fish can live to 100 years or more.
Fly the Northwest. Apple Valley News Now at 6 tonight.
Next live from Andor, a Star Wars story, Diego Luna.
There is a lot of action. It's going to be interesting.
Plus Mika Kelly from Ransom Canyon.
Today at 9 on Apple Valley News Now.
This newscast sponsored by Mariano Morales Law. From Apple Valley News Now, First Alert Weather with Chief Meteorologist Josh Colbreth.
Welcome back to Good Morning Northwest. Yesterday was a superb day to be outside, minus the winds. Today is going to be another excellent day to be outside, but we're not going to have the winds this time. Now, it will be a little bit breezy, some gusts out of the north and east between 20 and 25 miles per hour for the Blues, the Blue Foothills, and the Cascades. But other than that, lots of sunshine and normal high temperatures for late April. Then for tonight, it's going to be calm outside, light winds, clear skies, overnight lows down into the 30s for lower elevations. So it's probably just going to be a little bit too warm for lower elevations to have to protect the outdoor pets, plants, and the plumbing. Technically, we're going to be a few degrees below average for today, 3 degrees below average, and then technically a couple degrees above average for tomorrow, but about 10 degrees above average for Thursday and Friday, and then we cool off slightly to more seasonal values for Saturday, Sunday, and Monday. And this cool down happens because of a storm system. We're going to see shower chances going up specifically for Friday and Saturday, trending drier after that, but there could even be some thunderstorms embedded within some of of these precip chances, specifically for the Blue Foothills and the Blue Mountains. Now let's show you some of the impacts we could see from the rainfall accumulations. This would be 5 p.m. on Friday to 5 in the morning on Sunday, maybe upwards of 0.3 inches of rainfall for our passes up in the Blue Mountains, maybe 0.3 inches of rainfall at pass level up in the Cascades, and then in between the mountain ranges, not much doing at all. So this is not going to be a very wet storm system. It's not going to be a very wintry storm system, at least at pass level, but it will be a very windy storm system. We're expecting some very strong wind gusts again in the Kittitas Valley. That would make it the third weekend in a row we've seen a setup just like that in regards to the wind. So we'll have more to say about the wind gusts tomorrow as we get more model data, but that's something that should be on your radar. Here's the 7-day forecast for the Tri-Cities. Warmer with plenty of sunshine through Thursday, then turning cooler with small shower chances in a Friday and Saturday. In Yakima, beautiful and warmer through Thursday, small rain chances Friday and Saturday, then dry again by Sunday. In Ellensburg, a fantastic stretch of weather through Thursday, small shower chances Friday and Saturday, very windy Saturday and Sunday, like we were just talking about. In Hermiston, sunny and warming up until Thursday, small rain chances Friday and Saturday, then dry weather returns for Sunday. Then in Walla Walla, comfortable and sunny over the next few days. Small shower chances start Friday with some thunderstorms even possible on Saturday.
Thanks, Josh. 6:20, so much more ahead here on Good Morning Northwest. The Oscars are making room for AI. A new rule means films using artificial intelligence could soon bring home gold. We have the details in our entertainment headlines coming up after the break.
One of the best female groups of all time, En Vogue, in concert. Saturday, May 31st at Legends Casino Hotel. The multiple Grammy Award nominees with more than 20 million records sold worldwide. En Vogue. Get tickets now at Ticketmaster.com and Legends Gift Shop. Don't miss En Vogue live Saturday, May 31st at Legends Casino Hotel.
Our number one service here at NIU Women's Clinic and Aesthetics is our weight loss program. Our program is really focused on a lifestyle change. We want our patients to be able to lose around 10 to 15 pounds of weight loss a month is what we see. But when they're done with us on the program, we want them to be able to keep that weight off. We don't want to see them yo-yo.
So I've lost about 40 to 50 pounds, and that's been over the span of 3 to 4 months. At my peak, I think I was losing probably 10 pounds a week. It was quite a bit, and I just noticed it was falling off of me.
So we are proud to announce that we are releasing a virtual weight loss program. What makes our program so successful for both men and women is the fact that we are treating exactly the reason why you're gaining this weight in the first place. By addressing your insulin insensitivity, your hormone balancing, your lifestyle, treating everything. We really focus on you and your needs.
Now open in Yakima. Go to newuwomensclinic.com to start your weight loss journey today.
In an instant, your world can shatter. At Quantum Legal, we understand injuries can be an immense burden, taking a toll on your body and leaving you drowning in medical expenses. Battling insurance companies without legal representation will make matters worse. We are committed to advocating for your deserved compensation. Quantum Legal, where compassion meets justice.
Get this low-mileage 2025 Cadillac Optiq all-wheel drive luxury one-vehicle shown lease for around $459 per month. Visit your Yakima and Tri-Cities Cadillac dealer today.
This newscast sponsored by Shriners Children's Spokane.
Welcome back, 6:23 in your entertainment news this morning. Billy Ray Cyrus may no longer have an achy breaky heart after his divorce last year. 63-year-old Cyrus and British actress Elizabeth Hurley posting an Instagram picture of themselves together on Easter Sunday. He was wearing bunny ears and kissing the 59-year-old Hurley on the cheek.
See, if this was Hannah Montana, he would say, "Sweet niblets." Well, neither has commented on the photo, but it appears to be the reveal of a romantic relationship, and the pair starred together in the 2022 film Christmas in Paradise.
And that's the same year that Cyrus got engaged to Australian musician Johanna Hodges, known by the name Fire Rose, but they split in 2024, less than a year after getting married.
Sweet niblets.
And the Oscar goes to artificial intelligence. Well, the Academy of Motion Picture Arts and Sciences has updated its rules to clarify the use of AI in movies.
It says the technology will not disqualify a film from being able to nab an Oscar nomination. The Academy states that AI and other digital tools will, quote, neither help nor harm the chances.
However, it does make clear that the more human involvement in a movie, the better. The Academy was considering making it mandatory to disclose that AI was used in a film, but decided to not include that in their updated rules. Interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. Well, just Monday, that marked 9 years since Prince passed away of a fentanyl overdose at the age of 57. His former home and recording studio honoring the late singer with a ceremony and a concert screening. Paisley Park invited fans inside to create an origami dove with a message. There was also a candle lighting event and a screening of a concert from 2011.
Prince was a Minnesota legend. So much so, state lawmakers have proposed a bill to make Purple Rain one of Minnesota's official songs. And I would support that. I'd support that measure.
All day long.
Yeah.
All right, so much more ahead here on Good Morning Northwest. Coming up in our 6:30 half hour, Cadillac's new medical clinic has broke ground in Richland, and we spoke to the chief medical officer, what he says he hopes for with this new facility. Plus, it's Work Zone Safety Week, and with accidents on the rise, experts are urging drivers to be extra careful. Our Dan Hansen has the story. We are back right after the break.
You get in a car wreck and call the insurance company and get nowhere. Stop wasting your time. Just make one more call to 853-2222. They can't ignore my demands to pay you all the money you deserve.
Call 853-2222.
Which automaker employs the most hourly workers in the country? Ford. Which automaker assembles the most vehicles in the country? Ford. That's not a coincidence. It's a commitment. A commitment Ford dealers share by offering employee pricing across a full lineup of Ford vehicles.
Now get employee pricing available across a full lineup of Ford trucks and SUVs. Employee pricing, you pay what we pay. Only from your local Ford dealer.
Meet the Moore family. They switched from cable internet to Ziply Fiber and got so much more. Mr. Moore got more upload speed for next level gaming and live streaming to the masses. Mason Moore got even more done for his sneaker business, quickly uploading HD product demos and video conferencing without freezing.
Brad, you're on mute.
And now that her family doesn't need her for tech support, Mrs. Moore has more time to stream games into overtime.
Let's go!
Get more of what you love by switching to Ziply Fiber for $65 less per month than cable at ziplyfiber.com.
Ever feel like something's missing? Like there's a hole in your morning routine? Well, we've got just the thing. At Some Bagels, we make more than fresh bagels. We make a variety of baked goods to fill your day with everything you've been missing. Have your favorite coffee drink with our in-house roasted espresso beans. And enjoy your bagel with our flavored cream cheeses. Because at Some Bagels, the only thing better than the hole in the middle is everything around it. I want some, you want some, we want some, gimme Some Bagels.
Today, Grady turns 1. Already he plans to wrestle alligators, try his hand at the culinary arts, and explore the world. With the Get College Saving Program, you can start saving for their future anywhere in the country. Don't borrow your children's future, build it at 529.wa.gov.
Our new orthopedic regenerative medicine clinic with Prosser Memorial Health orthopedic surgeon Dr. Jeffrey B. Higgs is now offering a variety of treatments, including platelet-rich plasma injections to enhance injury recovery, promote healing, and treat pain associated with early osteoarthritis. To schedule an appointment, call Prosser Orthopedic Center at 509-786-5599 or learn more at prosserhealth.org. This is how we care.
You get in a car wreck and call the insurance company and get nowhere. Stop wasting your time. Just make one more call to 853-2222. They can't ignore my demand to pay you all the money you deserve.
Call 853-2222. The 3 Degree Guarantee, sponsored by Legends Casino Hotel.
This is Apple Valley News Now. Good morning, Northwest. On your side.
Good Tuesday morning. Thanks so much for waking up with us. Joining us here for Good Morning Northwest, I'm Jade Elliott.
And I'm Josh Colbert.
And happy Earth Day to you.
Thank you. Thank you. Happy Earth Day to you as well, because you are a resident of Earth as well.
And all of you. Yes. Perfect day to get out and plant a tree.
Perfect day to be on Earth.
Yeah.
Perfect day to get out there and take in some real Earth air, right?
And perfect with your 3 Degree Guarantee.
It's a very green holiday. Speaking of green, the green is going up in our 3 Degree Guarantee. Let's go ahead and take a look at that. Again, thanks to our friends at the Legends Casino and Hotel for sponsoring this. So yesterday, I went with forecast high of 66 in Pasco Tri-Cities and I verified at 65. So the jackpot went up to $175 for today. I am also, hey, let's just run it back. I'm going with a forecast high of 66 again in Pasco Tri-Cities. So if it verifies between 63 to 69, the jackpot's going to reach $200. If that doesn't happen, the jackpot could be yours. Find out how to win the jackpot by going to applevalleyNewsNow.com, clicking on the contest page, or by scanning the QR code that's on your screen. Now what's on your screen is visibility, as we're seeing reductions in visibility for Interstate 90. If you got to travel up that way this morning, just be prepared to take it slow and to use the low beams. But elsewhere, not tracking any fog, but we are tracking some cold temperatures for this morning, as we are below freezing in Yakima. We're below freezing in Hermiston. We're right at freezing in Pendleton. So in those areas, it could be a little bit frosty. And of course, we're dealing with some of that in the Cascades and the Blues as well. Here's your hour-by-hour forecast for today for the Tri-Cities. Lots of sunshine, a very pleasant day, a very pleasant Earth Day like we were just talking about, as highs will be normal for late April. That means low 60s in the Kittitas Valley and in the Blue Foothills, and then mid 60s for the Yakima Valley and the lower Columbia Basin. So get out there and enjoy it. And just to underscore how nice this forecast will truly be, I'll take you on that zone-by-zone tour of today's forecast coming up in a few minutes.
Josh, thanks so much. Well, a quick response from Kennewick firefighters likely prevented a much bigger disaster when a fire broke out early Sunday morning on Easter. Crews there were able to stop an apartment fire before it spread any further. This happened just before 4 a.m. at the Seasons on 4th Avenue Apartments. Firefighters arrived to find the roof over an apartment entrance on fire. Crews were quickly able to get those flames put out. They searched for hot spots. Police secured the scene. Luckily, no one was hurt, but the cause is under investigation. And it was a busy Monday for Benton County Fire District 1 crews. Crews arrived just before 1 p.m. Monday to a fire at Greenbrier Rail Services in Findlay. When they got there, they found a sandblasting structure filled with smoke. Now, the fire was contained to a collection bin on the outside wall. Luckily, no one was hurt, but officials are saying that this fire does seem suspicious. And shortly after that, crews then responded to a controlled burn that had gotten out of control and damaged some property. First responders reported to Joshua Court around 1:40 p.m. That fire started in some landscaping bushes and then quickly spread, destroying an outbuilding and damaging part of a home. Property owner was also treated for smoke inhalation on scene. Fire officials are just reminding residents to double check burn restrictions, monitor weather, and never leave a burn unattended. Well, this week is Work Zone Safety Week, and it's coming at a time when crashes in work zones are actually climbing pretty fast. Washington State Department of Transportation says more and more drivers are hitting WSDOT workers, and the numbers are alarming. Between 2023 and 2024, crashes in work zones jumped by 36%. In Benton and Franklin counties alone, there were over 100 work zone crashes. And across the state, WSDOT says 5 of those were deadly. 36 caused serious injuries. Washington State Patrol Trooper Daniel Mosqueda says distracted driving is playing a big role, and both the public and road crews are noticing.
More people on their phones being distracted, and that's one of many distractions that we're seeing. Year to date, the Washington State Patrol has contacted 12,654 distracted drivers, and that's just year to date.
The trooper there urging drivers to slow down, stay focused, and especially when going through construction zones. WSP and WashDOT say they are working closely together to keep both workers and drivers safe. If you're caught speeding in a construction zone, it'll cost you. Fines in those zones double. Officials say these numbers are a wake-up call and a reminder that a few extra seconds of attention can save a life. 6:33 now in Cattle. It continues to grow to provide more services to the area. The hospital just breaking ground for its new Cadillac Clinic medical office in West Richland on Keene Road. The clinic is set to be about 15,000 square feet. It'll have capacity for 10 primary care providers. Chief Medical Officer for the medical group at Cadillac, Richard Meadows, said that the new clinic is all about making health care more attainable.
If you don't have that access, things end up getting worse, and diseases progress, and people end up in the hospital when they don't need to. So it's just such a wonderful service that keeps people healthy and cuts down the cost of care.
Meadows says if everything goes as planned, the new clinic will be complete within a year. There's so much more ahead here on Good Morning Northwest. It is Earth Day, like we mentioned, and a local nonprofit is helping people make a positive impact year-round. How the Buy Nothing Project is changing the way we think about sustainability. That's all coming up.
Hello there. Watch Live with Kelly and Mark.
Weekday mornings at 9 on Apple Valley News Now.
Seems like everyone's going country these days. Let me show you how it's done. Yep, that Nashville hot sweet heat is here on my 100% all-white meat popcorn chicken starting at $5.99. Tastes good to go country. Get so much more.
Welcome to Jack in the Box.
Walla Walla Sweets Baseball has been a beacon of our community's spirit for 14 seasons. But behind every swing and every catch lies the question, where do our players call home during the season? The answer is simple. With you, our incredible host families. It's more than just housing a player. It's about becoming part of their journey. Watching our boys chase their dreams is incredibly rewarding. Become a host family and be part of something bigger than the game. Together, we are Walla Walla Sweets.
Spring savings continue with Bi-Mart's latest savings book. Pick up a copy in-store. Jumbo Pack Annuals are 2 for $7. Bi-Mart bagged weed and feed, lawn food, and fertilizer are $11.99 each. Save $2 on Purina Dog Chow. Stag Chili is 2 for $4. And Skippy Peanut Butter Twin Packs are $9.99. Plus, get ready for your outdoor recreation for less. From fishing to camping and more, Bi-Mart has you covered. Save through Monday, April 28th. Bi-Mart, since 1955.
Welcome to the Flower Bar, where every bouquet tells your unique story. Our talented designers craft personalized masterpieces from the freshest seasonal blooms, ensuring no two arrangements are ever alike. Whether you're building your own creation or choosing from our designer collections, we'll bring your floral vision to life. Visit our new location in Richland and discover a truly bespoke flower experience. Start your floral journey at the Flower Bar on theparkway.com.
I'm a martial artist, a skydiver, a pilot, and all of them require your feet to work. Get up in the morning and it felt like I was standing on marbles on my heel. When I went into the Good Feet store, the fitting was personalized. It was all about me. You put in the arch supports and your day becomes better and the sun shines, the unicorns run by, and it's a good life. I'm Randy and that's my Good Feet story.
See for yourself with a free personalized arch support fitting at the Good Feet store.
It's time to unveil my $4.99 jumbo breakfast platter with French toast sticks, grilled sausage patty, hash brown, and scrambled eggs. Man, that thing's still going. Uh-oh. Get so much more.
Welcome to Jack in the Box.
Find out how Idaho Fish and Game is working to rebuild the sturgeon population.
These are the largest and longest lived fish in Idaho. Some of these fish can live to 100 years or more.
Fly the Northwest. Apple Valley News Now at 6 tonight.
Here comes the judge.
Court come to order. All rise.
Judy rules the courtroom.
Hey, I would keep my mouth shut.
It's your daily moment of truth.
What an idiot.
Judy Justice.
In front of millions of people.
Today at 4 on Apple Valley News Now.
From Apple Valley News Now, First Alert Weather with Chief Meteorologist Josh Colbreth.
Welcome back to Good Morning Northwest. Yesterday was a superb day to be outside. Today is going to be just the same, except we're not going to have wind gusts nearly as strong as they were for yesterday. It will still be a little bit breezy up in the Cascades. Those winds out of the north and east around 20 miles per hour. More clouds in the Cascades as opposed to the skies in the Kittitas Valley, where it's going to be mostly sunny. In the Yakima Valley, also mostly sunny skies, light winds overall. These highs are getting into the mid-60s. And then for the lower Columbia Basin, also mid-60s, more like low to mid-60s. But lots of sun, pretty stagnant winds. And then for the Blue Foothills, we will have some winds here out of the north and east around 20 miles per hour, not just for the foothills, but also up in the higher terrain of the Blue Mountains. Highs for the Blue Foothills, mid 50s to low 60s, and then 40s and 50s for the higher terrain of the Blue Mountains, places like Cabbage Hill, Meacham, Ukiah, and the Battle Mountain Summit. So in general, a very nice day. Now let's talk about the snowpack, the big picture, the seasonal snowpack deficits and surpluses we're tracking for this time of the year. The upper Yakima Basin, the Natchez Basin, those are both in the Cascades. You see the snowpack really suffering up that way, especially for the upper Yakima Basin. Then in the Blue Mountains, that includes the Umatilla Basin and the Walla Walla Basin, and we have a snowpack surplus there. So, you know, it's bad in the Cascades, it's good in the Blues. That's really the summation of our snowpack situation right now. And we do have a storm system that's on the way for this weekend. Could bring some snow to higher elevations. I think it's mostly going to be rainfall. I'll tell you how much we're expecting coming up in a few minutes.
Thanks, Josh. 6:39, and today is Earth Day. It's a day to focus on environmental issues, and a lot of communities will be hosting conservation events to mark the day. Now, one nonprofit is hoping to make the environment cleaner year-round. It's called the Buy Nothing Project. It was started right here in the Evergreen State, and Apple Valley News Now's Nicole Stewart explains how it works and how it could save you money.
Millions of tons of waste end up in landfills every year in the U.S., according to the Environmental Protection Agency. The EPA estimates Americans throw out about 5 pounds of trash every day. And that doesn't even include the garbage that ends up in our oceans.
We found that there were a lot of plastics washing ashore with every single high tide.
Liesl Clark was living in Bainbridge Island, Washington, when she noticed just how much trash was ending up on their shores and wanted to do something about it. In 2013, she and her friend Rebecca Rockefeller launched a local Facebook group where neighbors could reuse and share items.
Post here and say what you're going to the store to buy and see if your neighbor might have it.
It's called the Buy Nothing Project. Clark says it's since grown to 12 million users in communities all over the world. Here's how it works. Communities create a private Buy Nothing Facebook group just for people who live in that area. That's where you can post items you no longer need, blenders, kids' rocking chairs, clothes, and see if one of your neighbors wants it, like this person who's giving away picture frames. If you're interested, you comment on the post and coordinate the exchange. Those items don't end up in the trash, and it helps a neighbor save money.
There is a power in togetherness and sharing.
You can also ask neighbors for items you're looking for, like this parent who wants a bike for her daughter. Multiple neighbors responding, offering their old bikes.
They're connecting with their neighbors. They come for the stuff. They stay for the community.
That community connection seen through posts like this one. A parent giving away this stroller that she says she received and enjoyed from this group and now wants to pay it forward. Nicole Stewart, Apple Valley News Now.
So much more ahead here on Good Morning Northwest. Coming up, we have your morning sprint and everything you need to know as you head out the door, and giving you a beautiful live look outside this morning from our Bi-Mart camera in Yakima. Chief Meteorologist Josh Colberth will have your full first alert forecast after the break. It's 6:42.
Whether you're injured on the road or on the job, the big dogs at Brumback and Autumn will get you the full compensation. Leave nothing on the table. Brumback and Autumn, Bulldog Tough.
For more than a decade, Farxiga has been trusted again and again and again. Ask your doctor about Farxiga.
At US Cellular, we're celebrating our customers, like JP here. It's a special event.
Us Days?
Yeah, we get special rewards and exclusive deals, and it's only for U.S. Cellular customers. It's like we got our own special club.
Should we show them? Us Days at U.S. Cellular. Right now, our customers can get $1,200 off any phone plus $500 off any tablet.
Have you heard about refractive lens exchange? K2 Vision RLE means no glasses, no contacts, and no readers permanently. And you'll never develop a cataract.
No glasses or readers. K2 Vision RLE.
Which automaker employs the most hourly workers in the country? Ford. Which automaker assembles the most vehicles in the country? Ford. That's not a coincidence. It's a commitment. A commitment Ford dealers share by offering employee pricing across a full lineup of Ford vehicles.
Now get employee pricing available across a full lineup of Ford trucks and SUVs. Employee pricing, you pay what we pay. Only from your local Ford dealer.
It's National Foot and Ankle Health Awareness Month. To avoid brittle nails and fungus, give your toenails frequent polish breaks. More at AppleValleyNewsNow.com.
Prosser Orthopedic Center podiatrist Dr. Jared Clifford is accepting new patients. This is how we care.
Your brain clearing, rush hour. Some allergy medications can make you drowsy, but Allegra is different. Traffic jam? We got this. See? On time.
Allegra is fast 24-hour allergy relief with 0% brain interference. It's a no-brainer.
First you hear it, then you feel it. That's the crunchy, melt-in-your-mouth feeling of Ritz Toasted Chips.
STCU and Apple Valley News Now continue to honor volunteers by sharing their stories and awarding their charities $1,000 each. If you know someone in Benton and Franklin counties who is making a difference and taking that extra step to make our communities better, please tell us about them today. Just click on Volunteers Count on the Contest tab at AppleValleyNewsNow.com for the STCU Volunteers Count nomination form. Volunteers Count from STCU and Apple Valley News Now.
Helping sturgeon survive in North Idaho. Fly the Northwest tonight at 6. From Apple Valley News Now, First Alert Weather with Chief Meteorologist Josh Colberth.
Welcome back to Good Morning Northwest. Yesterday was an excellent day to be outside. Today is going to be just the same, except it's going to be even better to be outside because the wind gusts aren't going to be nearly as strong. Now, it will be a little breezy still with winds out of the north and east between 20 to 30 miles per hour for the Blue Mountains, the Blue Foothills, and the Cascades. But other than that, a nice day, plenty of sunshine, normal high temperatures for late April. And then for tonight, clear skies, calm winds, overnight lows down into the 30s for lower elevation. So it's probably going to be just a little bit too warm to protect the outdoor pets, plants, and the plumbing. So technically, we're a few degrees below average for this time of the year for today. We'll be a couple degrees above average for tomorrow, but mostly seasonal. But by the time we get to Thursday and Friday, we're going to be a good 10-ish degrees above average, but then cooling off for Saturday, Sunday, and Monday, and that happens for a reason, and the reason is going to be pretty obvious as you take a look at the 7-day graphical display of shower and thunderstorm chances. We have the storm system for Friday and Saturday trending drier after that, but not just precip chances, but there could be some thunderstorms embedded in the Blue Mountains and in the Blue Foothills and up in the Cascades. So that's what we're going to be tracking for Friday and Saturday. Now, in terms of like significant accumulations from this storm system, forget about it. Maybe upwards of 0.3 inches in the Blues, 0.3 inches of rainfall up in the Cascades. But in between the mountain ranges, I mean, other than the Blue Foothills of Morrow County, maybe getting upwards of 1/10 of an inch of rainfall. Other than that, just not much doing for lower elevation. Snowfall from this storm system is going to be pretty negligible, at least at pass level, but the winds going to be very impactful for both Saturday and Sunday, especially in the Kittitas Valley. We'll have more to say about this forecast tomorrow. It's a little bit too early to show some of those numbers, but just know we are definitely tracking another windy weekend ahead of us. That would make it 3 weekends in a row now, specifically for the Kittitas Valley, which is quite a hot streak, if you will. Okay, here's the 7-day forecast for the Tri-Cities. Warmer and plenty of sunshine through Thursday, then turning cooler with small shower chances into Friday and Saturday. In Yakima, beautiful and warmer through Thursday. Small rain chances Friday and Saturday, then dry again by Sunday. In Ellensburg, a fantastic stretch of weather through Thursday. Small shower chances Friday and Saturday. Very windy Saturday and Sunday, like we just talked about. In Hermiston, sunny and warming up until Thursday. Small rain chances Friday and Saturday, then dry weather returns for Sunday. Then for Walla Walla, comfortable and sunny over the next few days. Small shower chances start Friday with some thunderstorms even possible on Saturday. Now let's head out to New York City to see what's ahead on Good Morning America.
In this morning's GMA First Look, a new way of shopping. Warehouse giant Sam's Club is removing self-checkout and launching Scan and Go tech at all 600 of its stores by the end of the year. The checkout-free experience requires all customers to download the store's app, scan the product barcodes as they go through the store, then exit through a scanner with AI cameras that analyze the carts to make sure all items have been scanned and paid for.
We're definitely seeing shopping change for customers.
Experts say other companies are likely to jump on board.
We are definitely going to see other retailers use this type of technology when it comes to Scan and Go.
And coming up at 7 a.m., we'll have much more on this big change at Sam's Club and when you can see it in your local store. With your GMA First Look, I'm Rebecca Jarvis, ABC News, New York.
Living with your albuterol asthma rescue inhaler? It's a bit of a dinosaur because albuterol only treats symptoms, not inflammation. Asthma experts support rescue that treats both symptoms and inflammation. It's time to replace your rescue with Air Supra. Air Supra is the first and only dual-action asthma rescue inhaler FDA approved to treat symptoms and help prevent asthma attacks. Welcome to the modern age of dual-action asthma rescue. Air Supra should not be used as a maintenance treatment for asthma. Get medical help right away if your breathing doesn't improve or worsens, or for serious allergic reactions like rash, mouth or tongue swelling, trouble breathing or swallowing, or chest pain. Using Air Supra more than prescribed could be life-threatening. Serious side effects include increased risk of thrush or infections, or heart problems like faster heart rate and higher blood pressure. Break free from albuterol-only rescue. Ask your doctor about Air Supra, a dual-action rescue inhaler for asthma.
Now, the morning sprint.
6:50 time now for your morning sprint, and we start with your national headlines this morning. Ivy League schools and the NCAA moved to dismiss a lawsuit on transgender athletes Monday. 3 former University of Pennsylvania women filed the suit in February. They say they were denied equal opportunity to compete because of teammate Leah Thomas, as she swam for Penn's male team before transitioning and joining the women's team. Thomas went on to win 4 first-place medals in the Ivy League Women's Championship. The women are suing Harvard, which hosted the event. They say the school didn't provide Thomas a unisex locker room or an alternative for women who didn't want to share one with her. The university says it's not liable because it was only following NCAA guidelines at the time. In your business headlines at 6:51, Walgreens has agreed to pay the government $300 million to settle an opioid lawsuit with the Justice Department. The pharmacy is alleged to have illegally filled millions of invalid prescriptions for controlled substances. The company then sought payment for many of those invalid prescriptions through federal health care programs. If Walgreens is sold, merged, or transferred before fiscal year 2032, the pharmacy would owe the U.S. government an additional $50 million. In your health headlines this morning, a new study has found unsupervised use of magic mushrooms has increased in the U.S. A study that authors say the use of these mushrooms increased 188% from 2019 to 2023 among older adults over 30. Its use increased 44% among 18 to 29-year-olds during that same period. The study found that the use of these was higher than estimates for cocaine, illicit opioid use, methamphetamine, or LSD. In a few clinical trials, these psychedelics have shown promise in treating depression, anxiety, substance abuse, and PTSD. Talking sports now at 6:52, the Seattle Kraken are making some changes behind the bench. Team announced they have parted ways with their head coach. General manager thanking him for his commitment over the past 4 years, including the time with the Kraken and their AHL affiliate. He led Seattle to a 35-41-6 record this season after being named head coach in May of 2024. The search for his replacement is underway. At 6:53, here are your top 5 local stories you need to know as you head out the door this morning. A suspect now in custody following a deadly shooting that happened in Yakima over the weekend. Deputies responding to the 1500 block of South Keys Road for this shooting on Sunday. An 18-year-old was shot and taken to Yakima Valley Memorial, where he later died. Investigators identifying the man on your screen, 21-year-old Israel Barriga Vargas, as the suspect. He was on the run after the shooting and then surrendered at his home just yesterday after 2 p.m. He's now in the Yakima County Jail facing charges of second-degree murder. And a Fox Island man is now in custody after a death originally reported as a suicide was later determined to be a murder. Deputies responded early on April 20th after a 29-year-old man called saying that his girlfriend had taken her life. When deputies arrived on Fox Drive, they found a 27-year-old woman dead at the scene. However, through their investigation, detectives found evidence that didn't align with a suicide. The man was arrested and is now facing second-degree murder charges and is being held at the Pierce County Jail. Now, there's now an open call for candidates to fill the vacant county coroner position in Yakima. Yakima County's Republican Central Committee made the announcement just yesterday, and it came just days after the former coroner stepped down. GOP is now seeking qualified applicants to be considered for the role. Candidates must live in Yakima County and be registered voters. Anyone who meets those requirements and is interested can submit a letter of interest to the Yakima GOP chairman, Matt Brown. And this week is Work Zone Safety Week, and it's coming at a time when crashes in work zones are on the rise. Washington State Department of Transportation says more and more drivers are hitting washed-out workers. Between 2023 and 2024, crashes in work zones jumped by 36%. In Benton and Franklin counties alone, there were over 100 work zone crashes. Across the state, WashDOT says 5 of those were deadly, 36 caused serious injuries. And across the state of Oregon, Governor Tina Kotek has ordered all flags to be flown at half-staff in honor of the Pope. It's a directive that comes after a proclamation by President Trump. These flags will remain at half-staff until sunset on the day of Pope Francis's funeral services. All right, trending this morning at 6:55, here's something you don't see every day. Goldfish turning into pond invaders.
That's right. Nevada, never say Nevada because they will let you hear about it. All right.
Well, because that's just not how you say it.
A Nevada pond is now overrun with goldfish, and it all started with a few dump pets.
According to a community spokesperson, the fish were likely released. Oh my gosh, look at all of them. They were likely released last year by someone trying to set a pet free. Now you can see the pond in Henderson is overrun.
Despite having a natural food source, the goldfish population has multiplied into thousands. The spokesperson says this isn't their native home, which makes them kind of an invasive species at this point. Kind of.
Oh my gosh.
Well, residents hope people will think carefully before bringing home a pet and disposing of it.
That's a lot of goldfish.
And
goldfish they kind of grow to their environment, don't they?
Yes, well, they can be massive. If you actually like seeing a picture of a big goldfish is kind of
scary. Like a goldfish in the wild.
It's kind of like scary for me. It's a little unsettling.
Well, luckily for us, the weather is not unsettling. It's going to be a beautiful day.
That's right. Good segue, by the way.
Thank you.
Now, it's going to be a little bit unsettled as we head into this weekend, but we're going to have a beautiful stretch of weather in the run-up to that. Right now, visibility is good for lower elevations, but if you're taking that commute over Interstate 90 over Snoqualmie Pass, it is a little bit foggy, so you might have to use the low beams and take it slow. Now on to temperatures. We're below freezing in Yakima, in Hermiston, right at freezing in Pendleton. In those areas, it could be a little bit frosty out there. But later today, we're going to thaw out. We'll have temperatures in the low 60s for the foothills in the Kittitas Valley, mid 60s in the Yakima Valley and the lower Columbia Basin. Lots of sunshine. Get out there and enjoy it. And thankfully, you won't have to deal with the winds for today. So here's the bottom line for the forecast. We're warming up throughout the rest of this week. A little bit cooler for this weekend with shower chances specifically for Friday and Saturday, and very windy in the Kittitas Valley for Saturday and Sunday. That would make it the 3rd weekend in a row that that's happened. I just can't get over that.
No, absolutely not. I'm not complaining. I'm going to get outside and play with the kids.
Earth Day.
Yes, it's Earth Day.
Celebrate the Earth, yes.
Plant a tree or something.
Yes.
All right. Thanks so much for waking up with us and watching Good Morning Northwest. You can always find the latest on our stories at our website, applevalleyNewsNow.com. Good Morning America is up next. We'll, of course, be back with your local news and weather tonight at 5.
Have a great day.